friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Julie and this is my channel, Mama to 5. Today I'm going to be discussing screen time. I have been wanting to make this video for quite some time. I have a list on my phone of video ideas and this has been on my list for forever and I've gotten quite a few comments asking questions about it. I don't know why I've been so hesitant to answer it. I think a big part of why is because our methods have changed so much. Like we've gone through a season where we only really did shows on the weekends, and then we've gone through a season where they were watching more TV, especially when we had a new baby, and the seasons keep changing. And so for me to say today, here's what we're doing right now, we may have only been doing it for a couple months, and maybe in a couple of months things will change again. So this is not a like, here's what we do, here's what you should do. This really is just gonna be explaining this is what is going on in our house right now. As my kids have gotten older, my oldest two are 9 and 8, I have decided, my husband and I have decided, you know what, they're old enough that I am okay, we are okay with having them have an iPad turn every day. So my youngest ones, I'll go for a quiet time, and during that period of time, I let my oldest two each have 30 minutes of iPad time. So this is pretty new that we've been letting them do this, but I know that technology is a big part of our world. It's important for our kids to learn how to use these devices, how to use them safely. But at the same point, they definitely know that using technology, especially having like free game time on their devices, is not a right. It's definitely a privilege, and so they need to be proving themselves responsible. One big reason, I'll admit, one big reason why we decided to give them iPad turns every day. We homeschool, you probably know that, and we were having a hard time getting some of our kids especially to get their chores done before school started. So we don't have to like get out the door and drive to school. It's just come sit in the living room, it's time for school. And so without having like any big deadline, like you need to be done, we had tried different things like, you know, an extra chore if they weren't done their chores on time, or, you know, having to do the schoolwork that we were doing as a family, they needed to make that up and do it later if they weren't done on time. They're done their chores in time for 9 o'clock. And like nothing was really working great. Nothing bothered them enough to change. And so we decided, okay, in the afternoon when school is completed, you can have a half hour of iPad time, but some things need to be in place first. So one of those things is chores need to be completed by 9 o'clock. And I don't remind them. This has been huge for me. I don't have to nag them. Come on, let's go, hurry up, do your chores. Did you make sure to brush your teeth? Oh, did you finish this chore? They each have one chore in the morning. It's not a huge deal, but having this deadline, they are heartbroken if they have to miss their iPad turn. My younger ones, my 6-year-old and my 4-year-old, also love to have a turn on the iPad, but they don't have it as regularly because they're having quiet time while my older kids have their daily time. And so they go on probably once or twice a week, but I'm gonna go through and share with you some of our favorite apps. This video is sponsored by Reading Eggs. So first off, I'll tell you a little bit about Reading Eggs. It is definitely one of our favorite apps. Reading Eggs is an educational app that we have loved for a long time. Each of the kids have their own profile on our app where they can log on, and every time they log on, their progress has been kept track of. So as soon as they log on, it'll start them off right where they finished off last time they were on. This app is appropriate for kids ages 2 up to 13. As soon as you get the app, you can go through a placement test where it will place your child where they should be as far as what lessons they should be doing. The junior side of it is very basic. Your kids are learning their letter sounds, learning their numbers, recognizing numbers. There are so many activities and games on there. There are books that they can go on. My youngest daughter, Zara, who is 4, this is one of her favorite things to do on Reading Eggs. She goes on, she goes to the books, and she turns the pages of the book but it's an audiobook as well. So she's looking at the pictures as she's listening to it, and she really enjoys that aspect of Reading Eggs. For ages 4 through 7, it gets into more lessons, so you can go onto your profile and go onto lessons, and it'll teach you the next concept. There are games on phonics and spelling, and there are puzzles to do. What's your favorite thing to do on here, Sim?
Science.
Look at me for a sec.
I like it because there's experiments.
Fun stuff.
Don't press it.
You gonna watch this experiment? Fun.
First, we added some blue paint and some glitter for the stars. Stir it all together.
And then there is also the Express level, which is suitable for kids ages 7 to 13. It is similar to the other levels, only of course much more advanced. And it just makes learning fun. That is exactly how I would explain that app. It makes learning fun. Reading Eggs also comes with math seeds. So Reading Eggs is more the phonics, learning to read, spelling. You can try out a free month of Reading Eggs. I will leave a link down below in my description where you can check that out if you want to try this app for your kids. Some of the other apps we love for my little ones, we have an app called Endless Reader, and that is working on putting letters together to make a word. So it shows a word on the screen and your child can drag the letters on to make that word. We also love Cubic Frog, and that has a lot of, again, educational stuff. And it's just fun, colorful, all the music added to it, but my kids, especially since they love, we don't do a lot of technology time, and so when we do, they just love it, and they don't even realize how much they're learning as they do these kind of fun activities. Sticker Dolly Dressing is one we've enjoyed lately, and it's a little sticker app where you stick clothes onto your girl. For my older kids, we do for a completely educational activity, but I have an app called Name That Note, and it's just music flashcards, but it's on the iPad. We also have checkers, we have Tetris. My oldest really likes the Lego City Racers, is it called? But it's a racing game and he really enjoys that. And then my older ones also love playing Minecraft. I will quickly mention here that we have not tried a ton of apps. Like, this is not an all-inclusive, these are the best apps out there. We only have a few, but of the ones from our experience here, these are a few apps that we really enjoy. As far as watching TV or shows, this is where it gets a little bit tricky for sharing exactly how often we watch TV, okay? So recently, here's what we've done. We have Friday night movie nights. We have Saturday morning, the kids get to pick a cartoon, and my husband and I love this because we can get up in the morning, wake up, and there's no kids around like, can we get up now? Can we have breakfast? They're usually just sitting downstairs watching TV, and it's just so nice and quiet, and I can make breakfast as they're watching a show. It's really nice. Where we watch shows is right now on Disney Plus and Amazon Prime. We did have a Netflix subscription. We canceled it, and I think we'll be getting it again. Well, I know we'll be getting it again in the fall because I know there are a couple of shows my husband and I are watching that when the next season comes out in the fall, we look at Netflix again. And I am missing some of those shows that are on Netflix, especially some of those educational ones for the kids. I do like to kind of give the kids an idea of when they can watch shows to decrease the amount of questions like, can we watch a show today? Can we watch a show today? When can we next watch a show? Can I have a turn on the iPad? And there's just so many questions if they don't know what's expected. So letting them know what is going to be happening, it's so nice. So they know Friday nights, Saturday mornings. They also know that if it's a rainy day, they get to watch a show. If it's a school day and it's raining, quite likely I'll say, okay, you guys can watch something in the afternoon when school is done, but you're gonna pick between this show or that educational show, and they have to pick from that. Again, as far as weather goes, there are days where maybe it's super cold outside, frigid, we'll watch a show, or maybe if it's a day that's super humid, then we may as well. But like rainy is like, okay, if it's raining, we get to watch a show. Of course, there are other occasional days too. It's just so hard to explain exactly how it works for us. On a typical week, Friday and Saturday, that might be all the TV we watch. That happens quite often, but there are other occasional times where we'll watch a show. For instance, when we're done reading a read aloud, if there is a movie version of that book, we will often pull that up and watch that as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and share with you some of our favorite shows right now. I have a list written down here. On Prime, my toddler and my preschooler love Little Lady. I can't even say that. Little Baby Bump. I'm sure if you have really little ones, you've seen this show, and it is just amazing. It's a lot of nursery rhymes and singing and fun pictures and animations, and my little ones, if I turn that on, they are absolutely glued to it. Prime also has Curious George, Super Why, Cat in the Hat knows a lot about that. That is like my ultimate favorite, I think, educational show. Magic School Bus too, but that's not on Prime, it's just on Netflix. They like Strawberry Shortcake, they like Garfield, Mr. Men, and Little Miss, and then on Disney Plus, their favorite TV show is Fancy Nancy. Mostly my girls, but they all enjoy it. So Saturday mornings we take turns. So one Saturday morning it's one child's turn, the next Saturday morning it's the next child's turn, and they each rotate and take turns. Again, just decreasing the fighting, decreasing the questions, and just they know what's expected. They know whose turn it is. On Friday nights we do movie night, and that's usually on Disney Plus. I mean, you guys know if you have Disney Plus, there were just tons of movies on there. Lots of old like Disney princess movies and Mickey Mouse and just all the Disney movies ever are on there. So that's kind of how screen time looks in our house. You can see now why I kind of hesitated to explain here's how we do it, because it's kind of, we do this, but then sometimes we do that, but then we always do this, but then sometimes we might throw that in or that in. But that's kind of how it's working for us right now. Like I said, diminishing the questions and expectations. I'm sure things will look a little bit different here through the summer too. This is kind of how we've been doing it the last few months of the school year. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed seeing it. And again, check out Reading Eggs. I will have the link to their app in the description down below. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.